home at the time. I don't know. It doesn't seem like he was. It seems like he may have just met him there, but there's no evidence to suggest if he was or if he wasn't. I don't know if that kid dragged Matthew on his own. I don't know if the father helped. I mean, my thing is, if the father did help, then I would think that he would have wiped that vehicle down right then and there, you know, while it was at the house. And the fact that they did come in from different directions does lead us to believe that that statement is correct, that they actually met there. Yes. Well, I saw that they were in the Facebook group. People were talking about a middle name. You know what? We're going to pull some things up right now, guys. We are going to go ahead and go to the records. Let's start here. Give you guys, oops, sorry. Let's put it back. Okay, you guys can see that. Okay, so what we are looking at here, let me see if you guys can see that. Yeah, okay. Let's make this a little bit smaller and bring it up a little bit higher. Okay. There may not be, somebody was asking, there has to be blood. It may be outside, and they very well could have already washed it down. I don't know that this happened in the home. Drag marks, and I mean, we don't know. Let's go here. Okay, so let's start with Chris. So these look like additional charges that they have added. Abuse of a corpse, alter, destruct, and conceal a human corpse. Both of these are felonies, and he's got $500,000 bond on both of those. If we go back and look at his father, they also added that additional charge. He originally had the $100,000 bond, and then they added the alter, conceal the human corpse with a bond of $500,000. Now let's go ahead and I'm going to pull something else up for you guys. We're going to do the court record search so you guys can see what the charge says here in the actual court file. Oh, they just updated it within the last 20 or 30 minutes. So let me go ahead and bring you guys onto this. Okay. All right, guys. So here we have the abuse of the corpse, the alter, conceal a human corpse, and then we have the capital case. We're going to view the details on this one here. This bond is set at $1 million. And it doesn't look like there is a first hearing date set yet. There is one for the dad. So, and let's look at this one. Just the case information, guys. You guys can go to Bexar County. Pre-hearing set. So there is a pre-hearing set on this one for February 6th. That is the same date as his dad. So we do have a first hearing is going to be on February 6th. And that is going to be the same thing with this one. More than likely, they're all going to be heard at the same time. Pre-hearing, yeah. The only one that doesn't show the pre-hearing date is for the capital case, but the other two, he does have a pre-hearing date here. And so this kid's not going to get out. I mean, you're talking about a $2 million bond. I'm pretty sure when they went in there, if there were any funds in there, they went ahead and seized all of them. Let's see what the dad says. These are a lot of his older stuff, but we have the abuse of a corpse, the alter, and conceal the human corpse. Now, I'm waiting because I do believe that there may be another charge coming in for him. Accessory after the fact. because he did help. So I believe that there's going to be some more things coming in for him. And so if we keep an eye out, we may see that. And I would be surprised if that doesn't show up. And I definitely think that we're going to be seeing some more charges when it comes to the baby as well. Doesn't show that he's, well, it takes a while to update, but it doesn't show that he's made bond. So again, this one's got 100,000, the other one has 500,000. Okay, let's look at some of the comments real quick. Dad never called the cops on him in the 4 days. Okay, let me pull this up. There is a question here. Okay, so they were asking accessory after the fact. Is someone who assists someone who's committed a crime after the person has committed the crime, with the knowledge that the person committed the crime and with the intent to help the person avoid arrest or punishment. Every state has different wording. Sometimes it's accomplice. We can look up what that law is in Texas. And let's see what we have here. Okay, a person subject of this chapter shall be punished as the court-martial directs if the person knows that an offense punishable under this chapter has been committed and receives comforts and assists the offender in order to hinder or prevent apprehension or punishment. Code 432.123, that's for Texas. So they do have a law that discusses the after the fact. All right, let's see. So that is the initial stuff there. This here, guys, let me go ahead and show you this. Can you guys see that? That is the house. And that is the vehicle in front of the house. So everybody can kind of get an idea. Okay. That is Christopher and Ramon's home. And again, this is the vehicle that was in front of the house. All right, let me... So there's a few other things I want to go over as well. God, there's so much. Let's talk about our wonderful friend, the Ghost Whisperer. I was really hoping that somebody had screen recorded what was going on there this morning before he deleted it. He claimed he was going to delete all the messages about Matthew and Savanah, but instead he deleted this fake message where he was claiming that he broke his little ghost box and that it was evil and it was bad. Thank you. That it was evil and it was bad and never to get one. And then he supposedly broke it and told somebody, I got to go get another one because I need to ask him about, I need to ask Matthew and Savanah about these names. You guys, he was wrong. And not only was he wrong, but he went on this morning and actually tried to say that the box has been manipulating him, that it gave him a lot of good cases, a lot of good information, and led him to help out on cases because it was setting him up for this moment of when Matthew and Savanah's case would happen and he would get it completely wrong and it would be completely crazy. And then everybody would come on him and hate on him and everything else. That was the story this morning. I watched the video, a few of us, I wish somebody had screen recorded it before he deleted it, but that is the story. So if there's anybody on here who is still following that and believing anything that comes from that page, y'all got some serious issues, because that right there was a crap show and it led people to attack an innocent man who actually had to come out publicly and make a statement telling people that it wasn't him. He was just trying to live his life. He's trying to take care of his family, for everybody to please leave him alone. And he was being targeted. So again, you guys, he was not right about anything. All of the stuff we spoke about on our live last night, I was with, or not, was it yesterday? Or the night before? With Abby and them, think about all the stuff that we spoke about that ended up being more factual than anything else. The fact that Savanah's life was taken in that passenger seat. The fact that that vehicle didn't get there. Now, it was believed that the last time the family had spoken to Matthew and them, based on everybody saying, was on Friday. If they had spoken with them on Friday, then of course that would have happened on Friday night. But it turns out that this was on Thursday. But again, what we did say on the live is that he was not there after Friday. At least Friday. So based on what they were saying, that the body had been there for 3 to 4 days, people were saying that there was no way that the vehicle had been sitting there. But it had the wrong tag number. And that's what I was trying to explain in the live. So it is very possible, and I believe that it did sit there the entire time, and then the police did confirm that the vehicle did sit there the entire time. Yeah, Diana, we won't ever really know exactly what happened, because remember, this kid is going to spin a story. He's going to spin some kind of story to try to get off of this. Now, I will tell you what I am hoping happens. Everybody wants the death penalty on the table. A lot of people do. But I think what is more important than a trial and putting the family through all this is for him to confess what he did. And the best way to do that is to offer him a deal. And I know everybody's going to be like, oh, no deals, no deals. And I don't mean a deal where he can get out. I mean a deal where he doesn't get the chair. Where he would spend the rest of his life forever in prison. And if he spends the rest of his life in prison, then as a condition of that, he would have to allocute to his crimes. And what that means is that he would have to go in front of the courts and tell them truthfully exactly what happened that night. From beginning to end, truthfully, exactly what he did, no matter how horrible or whatever it is. And in exchange, he would get life and not the death penalty. That is, in my opinion, what I feel, that's what I think is going to be the best outcome, because to put either of these families through a horrendous, listen, they're still waiting for justice for Savanah's brother. So the best way to get justice and put this to rest would be to offer him to take that off the table in exchange for him publicly telling the courts exactly what happened. So she says that's only if the families agree to. Yes and no. Yes and no. They often do take the families, what the families want, into consideration, but they don't have to. They do not have to. They look at that. If they don't think that, if they think this is in the best interest of everyone involved, if they think it's, not good, if going to trial is going to waste the court's time and everything else, then they very well could do it without input from the family. But I would think personally that the family would rather know everything that happened, because they're not going to hear that in a trial. You're going to hear a bunch of lies and nonsense that's not going to make any sense. And do we know if Christopher could have any connections with the boy? We don't. Guys, I also wanted to point something else out. I'm going to pull something up. There is something that is going around. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. It is a picture of supposedly Christopher's TikTok. And on December 23rd, there's a video of money. I'm going to tell you why I have a problem with that. It is extremely convenient. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to find it real quick. It is extremely convenient that that video was on December 23rd. However, he's still posting TikToks. The last one was like 4 hours ago. All of this stuff that's been going on while he's in jail. And that's why that's not making any sense to me. So if It's here, let me pull it up real quick. Let me pull back up that TikTok. I believe it was Christopher, but it was CRI. Yeah, not CH. It was CRIST. All right, I have it here. All right, let's go back to Chrome. Can you guys see that? All of these 6 hours ago. 6 hours ago. Just a bunch of weird stuff. The one that everybody is referring to, I'm going to pull it up for you guys. Now, from everything I know from TikTok, it is not like Facebook. Somebody please correct me if I'm wrong here. I've never seen the option. And once you hit so many followers, you do get a lot of different options when it comes to TikTok. But scheduling posts, I'm not seeing that. So this is the video here. Or somebody else posted this, but this is from his page. So let me get out of here real quick. Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking. But his entire page is video games. Now, listen, he kind of looks like a kid who could sit in front of a screen and game all day. You know, smoke and game. And there's a lot of different events that happen, like school attacks and mass attacks that do occur with gaming. You know, I don't know what it does, but we all know that that's happened. We don't know that that page is his page. We don't know. We do see this money flash from the 23rd, but there is absolutely nothing that suggests that there is why he would still be posting when they were arrested yesterday. Okay, Melissa, there was no weapon in the car. First of all, I don't believe Matthew did that either. But there wouldn't be a weapon in the car. Because based on Christopher, he was able to take the weapon away from Matthew. I don't believe that at all. A lot of people are saying there's no way one kid did this. And that is not true. One person does have the ability to do this, and I'll tell you why. You're talking about a pregnant female, a very pregnant female. If he was to put the weapon to her, trust and believe you're going to get Matthew to do anything. To go anywhere, walk anywhere, whatever. Or vice versa. Put it up to Matthew, since he would be the stronger one, put it up to him. And that would convince Savanah to not move, to not do anything, to just stay right where she is. We don't know. We do not know. According to the arrest affidavit, we do not know whose life was ended first. Brittany's asking, did it happen in the car because they didn't say if she had a mark? She didn't have any marks, and there were shell casings in the car. Okay, so think about that. He's not going to pick up the shell casings from outside of his house and throw them in the vehicle. That does not make sense at all. But then again, let me just backtrack that for 1 second. He is a 19-year-old kid who doesn't seem to have a clue what he just stepped into. Like, just, obviously this is his first crime. And he did it big, and it's probably just as dumb as the thing that he did, honestly. And so, who knows? listen, he watches too much television, too much whatever, plays too much Grand Theft Auto, I don't know. He very well could have done that. It's, if his dad's helping him and his dad has been in trouble with the law and his dad knows enough, he probably would have told him not to do that. They probably didn't go looking for any casings that were still in the vehicle. There also was nothing on that report about exactly where the wounds were, just that it was in the head. So I don't know we don't know for sure about the entry and exit wounds. 100%, it's not in the report. I know that there was hold on guys, the video quality is knocking out for a second. Give me a minute, guys. I'm going to let the internet run back up real quick. The good thing with live studios, it tells me when the signal's dropping. So, the TikTok, it was Christopher Preciad 4. So without the O, a 4 in place of the O, and his name was spelled C-R-I, not C-H. Again, there is nothing to say that this is the same kid's account. I don't know about the local rumors, but I know that based on the affidavit from the police, people were saying that they were going to be the target of a robbery. That there were numerous people out there who wanted to. So I believe, just like the police do, that he went over there to serve him, and this was an attempted robbery gone bad. Yeah, this wasn't this was not a cleanup crew. This kid is not part of no cleanup crew. All of the evidence, his story alone basically says that he's guilty. He just doesn't have a clue what to do with all of this, honestly. As of right now, there's nothing in the file showing that his father has bonded out. The jail records and the court records do show that both of them are still currently there. Yes, everybody was asking about Matthew's pants being off. I don't think they were completely off, but he was dragged. And that scenario was put out there. And that is the one scenario or rumor that is true. He was dragged. When I did my live the other night, that was one of the things another thing that we were talking about, which I think the police, you guys can all see it. You remember in the video remember when I said that it looked like whoever was driving the vehicle tried to get out and then kind of got shoved back in by the heavyset dude. So Chris tried to get out and his dad, and I said it looked like the heavyset dude was really frustrated and annoyed with the person that was driving. And then there was a comment that we spoke about where maybe whoever it was called the person in there, and that person coming out there, was aggravated and frustrated. And that was kind of like a nail on the head. I don't know where that original comment came from, but we discussed it in the live, and that's kind of exactly what we see. What we saw in the footage is exactly what happened. You could see it all, and based on Ramon's statement, he went out there to just kind of help his son. So you can definitely see that frustration there. Hold on, I'm making sure that the signal stays up. Okay. Now, the other thing, everybody kept saying that it was a girl. And like I said, these guys out there, most of them that we see on social media, have long hair and wear ponytails. So the ponytail that you guys saw obviously was not from a female. Christopher has long hair, and it was him. Brianna, the dad's statement was that he got a call from his son, and that he went and met his son over there to help him drop off the vehicle, and then he wiped down the vehicle where he touched it. Interesting, it doesn't seem like he did much for where his son was. It looks like he looked in there just to kind of make sure that maybe that they were gone, wiped everything down. You could see he was frustrated with his son, and then they dumped the vehicle off. He went, followed the vehicle, put his son in the car, and they left. It says out of custody. That's why people are saying, okay, let me look that up, guys. Comments not handled. I know when they're out of custody, usually we see that information disappear. I do see his Vine information. Let's view the full case. Raymond, awaiting indictment. Says location, he's still at the jail. Pre-hearing set. Bond set. The bond was set today. Eventually, if he gets bonded out, guys, this will update. And what it does is it updates to actually who the bondsman is. There will actually be a whole other link and file here just for the bond. As of right now, I don't see it. But again, remember the Vine for the victims, it's basically a victim. Vine is a victim notification. When that goes out, or when the victims look it up, usually they'll get phone calls or they'll get notified first that the person is about to get out, or they're about to post bond, or something to that effect. As of right now, there is nothing showing that he is out. It's not to say that he's not or he's not about to. Don't think his son's getting bonded out, but I don't know why. I have a feeling that the father probably will. Do I think someone else was in the truck? I have looked over this video endlessly to see if maybe the towel fell, maybe it was on something and it just dropped down. You know, like maybe he kind of had it sitting, I don't know, up on the top somewhere, and nothing suggests that that's what happened. Everything shows that it looks like the towel was thrown there. It really does. So if I'm being honest, you know what? Let me pull up the video again. I'm going to pull this up on my phone real quick. Again, I'm kind of like you guys. I saw what looked like somebody throwing that towel in there. Where is that video? I know it's on, oh, here it is. Let me see. Let's see. Whatever happened with the Facebook? I think sometimes the Facebook group goes hidden, just so because they'll get a lot of requests and they're trying to keep up. So, and to stop 100 more requests from coming in, they'll hide the group. I haven't been on today, so I don't know. Nope. Somebody definitely lifted that towel and moved it. And it looks like it possibly came from the back seat, that there was somebody in that back seat. I'm sure the police are looking into it, but those are dark tinted windows. So absent Ramon or Christopher confessing, admitting who was there. And if it was somebody, let's just say it was one of the other siblings, you know, one of his kids, whether the older one or the younger one, who dad just happened to be with at the time, then the police may already know about it. And, you know, that's why we're not hearing about it. Or, I mean, there could be 100 different reasons. And they're saying that it was the mom. So there's a couple of child support cases as well under his name. And even more recent ones for kids that are younger than Christopher. So I don't know if he's still with Christopher's mom or not. I can't confirm that, but based on all of these other child support and paternity actions, it doesn't look like he is, unless, of course, he's just one of those. Yeah, Chris's bail was, altogether, guys, his bail is actually two. It's $1 million, then $500 and $500,000. So he's got a $2 million bond. Yes, they may have chosen not to charge that person, or they may not know who that person is right now. And that's another option too. Both of them are like, listen, that person had nothing to do with it, or... Yeah, the ghost whisperer was Bull. He most certainly was. Savanah was the one who looked up his address. Yes, Savanah's phone. Remember that the police said they didn't find Matthew's phone. They didn't find his phone. They didn't find a weapon. But Savanah's phone looked up that address, and then it showed that that her phone was at that location. Bino Yonsei is saying that Dad did bond out. You guys, if he did, I will definitely update you guys. That's what we're doing live. I mean, there's a lot of things breaking probably as we're speaking right now. Let me see. Let's see what we got here, guys. You know, I wanted to show you guys something. Hold on. We're going to go ahead and look at when they did the perp walk. Quick cut recap is that 2 people were arrested, and the younger person is claiming that Matthew pulled a weapon on him, and he was able to maneuver it away from him, and that's when Savanah's life was taken by accident, according to him. And the same thing with Matthew. Again, that evidence doesn't match up. None of that matches up. There are casings in the car and drag marks. So Matthew was actually dragged into the vehicle. Possibly. Okay, guys. So I also want to clear something. I'm saying possibly for a reason, because yes, that obviously their lives were ended at a different location. The vehicle was at a different location, but he could have dragged Matthew from the front seat to the back seat, especially if there's casings in the car. We don't know where those casings are. With the new affidavits and more evidence that comes out of this file, we'll be able to get that information. But it is possible that he dragged him from the front to the back. We just know that it was on his back. He had drag marks on his back. Yes, the date on the video is December 21st at 11:59 p.m. So Thursday night. Yeah, he's going to try to claim self-defense, but that's not going to fly. Okay, guys. There's a part of this video. Let's do the perp walk first so you guys could see. He says some things. Is this the one where he's talking? Hold on. Something about this just rubs me wrong. Can you guys even hear that? Can anybody even hear that? Hold on. Yeah, the video itself is really, really low. Let's try putting the speakers up. Everything's on max volume. So they're asking him, we want to know why, for those who can't hear. And I'll relay the words to you guys. Okay. It's really hard to hear that. But there's a video that actually talks about, so the guy who was driving the truck was Christopher's dad. And in that was Christopher's dad. And he turned around, and when he came out, he was like, oh, this is fake news. And then after that, he said, sorry for what? He's like, what, for lying or something like that? You guys don't even, basically he's saying that they don't know the story, that they're being lied to. And what's he going to be sorry for if what we're hearing is a lie? That's basically his attitude. And that says a lot, because we know what he already said to police. He's claiming he didn't say that. or I'm sorry, he's claiming that we're being lied to, which means he's going to go back and say that he didn't make any statements. Pretty sure that's what that's going to boil down to. But he's acting like he's got nothing to be sorry for because everything that we know from the police department is a lie. Do you know if there was a weapon recovered? There was not. If there may or may not have been one in the house, but there was not a weapon in the vehicle. When they went over to Raymond and Christopher's house, they went with a search warrant. So they went, and anything that was in there, I'm pretty sure if there was any illegal substances, the money, we know that any of that was going to be taken. The vehicle was taken, it was towed, and they searched that house up and down. I think we're going to see more as this progresses. We're going to be able to see more of the police statements that are going to be public record inside of the file, and kind of be able to really figure out what's exactly what they found and what they didn't find. That's also going to be part of discovery. So yes, it will be great when they give a detailed release. So far, the only press release they did give was last night, and that's when they spoke about, it was just kind of just some basic stuff and confirming that the people who we said were not suspects and that were cleared, they confirmed that they were cleared. And that was kind of like the basis of that press conference. What did Christopher say in the interview? Website says magistrate release date. Hold on, guys. I'll get back to that question. Let's go back. Again, guys, sometimes the website just takes a little bit to upload. It's not instant. I've noticed that it usually happens within an hour or so. So I'm retrieving the files now. So let's see what we got here. Let's refresh. At the time originally that he had posted bond, or I'm sorry, that people were saying he posted bond, his bond was $100,000. It was only for the one charge. Then after everybody was saying that he had posted that bond, there was an updated charge, and that one was $500,000. So there are some times when people are released on one case, on one charge, because they posted bond on that one and then they can't afford the next one. I don't think that's the case here. I mean, if he posted bond, he posted bond. The records are still trying to load. Let's go ahead and try the jail records. We got an intake. This one says pending magistration. Waiting indictment, fine, court costs. Hold on, guys. I see the record. You know what? We got a Vine number here. Okay, so here we go. If he gets released, or if he has got released, matter of fact, I'm just gonna show you guys too, so you could see it. There are some conditions here. Oh, sorry, I turned off my camera instead of giving you guys the Google Chrome. Bye, hun. I'll talk to you later. So we got, he's not allowed to be in possession of any firearms. He's not allowed to consume alcohol. He's going to go under random testing for drugs and alcohol. They're under he's under a no contact order. He is on full house arrest with a GPS and special conditions. So if he gets bonded out, what this is saying is that as conditions of bond, if he was to get bonded out, those are all the conditions. No alcohol, no firearms, drug and alcohol testing, a no contact order, full house arrest, and GPS. I guess they're worried that they might flee. Yes, so they can have his location at all times. I have my dad's bond is 500 and 100, so altogether 600,000, which is going to be 60,000 if he posts with a bondsman. That was on the dad. Let me see if they've put any restrictions on Christopher pending bond. I'm surprised they gave him a bond on that capital case. Honestly, I am really really surprised. I'm not even going to lie. Let's do a search. All right, Christopher. Let's see if he's got any conditions in here. Bond set for that one, $500,000. There's nothing on his there. Let's open it up and get more details. Nope. So being that we also didn't have Christopher even in the jail until this morning. Pre-indictment for fugitive, excuse me. Pre-hearing warrant awaiting indictment. So he's got a pre-indictment. Booked, bond set. Special conditions. Okay. If he was to go on same conditions. So it says here if he gets bond, no firearms, no alcohol, random testing, a no contact order, full house arrest, and order on GPS. Special conditions, bond, Brown. So I'm going to tell you why I don't know that he's out yet. Okay? Because do you see all those list of conditions? In those conditions, that takes a while. They have to contact the probation and parole office to get a GPS set up. And then they got to get him an officer that is going to do the random testing and implement all of these restrictions. That doesn't happen in a couple of hours, guys. He very well could have posted bond, but as far as getting out, all these things to get all these things set up is going to take a while. It's not going to happen right away. They have to come out and fit him with a GPS. They got to give him all of this stuff. So it's not going to happen right away. Just a strand on a capital case. Remember, they haven't confirmed that they are seeking the penalty yet. They have not confirmed. They did say online that they were going to. I personally think that they need to seek it. Again, I'm going to repeat this like I did before. They need to seek it and then put it as life under the condition he tells the courts and he makes a full statement on the truth of really what happened that night. Where, how, who was first. I don't know. I mean, the not knowing, I don't know if the family wants to know that, but I think deep down inside, they have so many questions. I think there was a conversation, a news segment where the grandmother asked, she was like, I don't know what her last moments, did she, or I'm sorry, it was the mother. The mother or the grandmother, did she ask for me? Did she cry out for me? These are things that I'm sure that they want to know. They feel like they're not going to be able to have closure without knowing everything. And I think closure is more important, personally. Put him in jail for the rest of his life. Trust me, with this type of charge, he's going to get his. The jail will take care of that. Yeah, I don't understand why this judge didn't deny bond. $1 million question there, guys. Okay, why do I feel like there were some other things I wanted to run by you guys real quick? We did the additional charges. Okay. Matthew's cousin said he's not out, that he got transferred to Bexar County. To the county jail, I guess. I thought that's where he was at. I mean, Bexar County shows that that's where they booked him, so. Yeah, Brittany, exactly. He might have to pray for protective custody. But when you're a lifer, I mean, that's the equivalent of being just like those who are on death row. They're locked up, like by themselves, securely. All right. So you guys have any more questions? Or again, I am going to print that affidavit and get that into the drive for you guys. So everybody's going to have a chance to read it. What did Christopher say? Christopher basically said that he was defending himself. That's his story. Let me see if I could get this printed for you guys real quick. Doing that to a baby. He's defending himself. He's making it seem like what happened to Savanah was an accident. And he was while he was defending himself from Matthew, that is how Savannah's life ended. And honestly, that is total bullcrap. Total bullcrap. Yeah, he's not getting away with this. Listen, the evidence, the fact that his dad didn't even try to say nope or tell his son we don't say anything, and the fact that his dad admitted he was only wiping off where he touched the vehicle. Right, they both had wounds to the head, both of them. So I don't know. I'm trying to think if, in my mind, what I'm picturing is maybe them pulling up into the driveway. Let's go ahead and put that picture back up, guys, real quick. Let's put this picture up. Okay. So in my mind, what I see here is maybe they pull up here into this driveway. And whatever happens here. So if they do pull in, the passenger side is here. If, and I'm saying if, guys, it does occur out here with Matthew, then it's very easy for him to keep the weapon on Savanah and then do what he did to her. Or vice versa. Again, it could have happened in the vehicle. It could have happened right there in the vehicle. And with her sitting right next to him being in shock, then he just turns around and he's able to get to her or him or vice versa. Whatever the case may be, it could have happened in the vehicle. I'm not saying this is the location necessarily, guys. That's not what I'm saying. But they did pull up here at 50 after, 11:50. They were here until 11:54, and then the vehicle shows up a couple of blocks 5 minutes later. So it is likely to believe that they passed between 11:50 and 11:54 at this location. And then there were drag marks. Again, those drag marks could have been him pulling him out of the driver's seat. I don't know. I'm not even gonna pretend to know, and I'm not gonna try to put anything that's not facts out there. We don't know. The fact of the matter is he had drag marks, she didn't. There were casings in the car. The police are leading us to believe, based on the affidavit, that she was deceased in the front passenger seat. They're not saying whether or not he passed outside the vehicle or if he was dragged from the front of the vehicle or not. So again, I hate doing scenarios, guys. I really do. I'm not one to sit here and say a lot of stuff. The police did not confirm that window was broken. They just said that they got a search warrant to gain entry. So I want you guys to think about that for a minute. Everybody's saying that the paramedics busted that, but we don't have any proof of that. And that hasn't been posted yet. We may get proof later on, but as of right now, we can only go by the facts as we know them. Matthew is 6'1". Matthew is 6'1", so pretty sure when he dragged them in there, probably half of his body was on the floor, maybe. Trust me, I really doubt he was just across the back seat. His legs would have hung. So he was in the back seat, but I'm pretty sure him having long legs, there was, we don't want to get into that imagery, especially if there's any of the family watching. I don't want to do that to them. The father owns his own company. It could have been done somewhere else. Right. Okay. So that's what everybody is saying. But I want you guys to think about this for a minute, okay? Think about this for 1 second. She searched. They have the time that she searched on her phone for this location, okay? They arrived to this location at 11:50. They are there from 11:50 to 11:54. Then 5 minutes later at 11:59, that vehicle is seen with Christopher driving in the apartments where it was left. Dad said he knew why they were there and told the officers to talk to his son. Yeah. So let's go with the facts of the case. The facts of the case are showing that the obvious location where this more than likely took place was at Christopher's home. That is the location where the vehicle was at for 4 minutes before it was dumped. The paramedic breaking the window is hearsay. Yes, it is hearsay at this point. Again, there's been nothing to confirm that, so. Let me see, do we have any? Let's put this little chat button down here. That's what it looks like, Brittany. According to the police, the arrest affidavit, they got there at 11:50 and left there at 11:54, or the vehicle left there at 11:54 with Christopher driving. So consider that this had to have been planned. It had to have been planned because that happened really quick. It's not like they were chit-chatting and whatever. This all happened really quick. 4 minutes to end both of their lives and then put one in the back seat. 4 minutes. You can't tell me this was not planned. He knew exactly what he was doing the second he got up there. The second he got up there. Right. It most definitely sounds premeditated. But at this point, you got a capital case, so it doesn't even matter. I mean, he's going away. He's done. Robbery, motive. Illegal substances. He supposedly called them over there to sell him some trees. So we're talking about, it looks like robbery was the motive. Deal gone bad, according to the police department. Listen, and it very well could have been a deal gone bad. Maybe it wasn't robbery initially. Maybe somebody owed somebody money. Who knows? Listen, I don't know. According to the police department, it was a deal gone bad. Police didn't say that. Christopher, yes, Nita. Christopher stated that as soon as he went there, that Matthew pulled a weapon on him and he was fighting with him. And in the process of trying to get the weapon away, that's how Savanah's life was taken. And then he was able to to get the weapon away and then ended Matthew's life. Everybody's saying the dad owns a heating and cooling business. If you guys want to go ahead and send me that information into my either email or private messages on social media, I would like to kind of have all of that evidence. Thank you. Yeah, this was, like the police said, evidence shows that this was not an accident. What he's saying, his story does not match the evidence at the scene. Right, a struggle, yes. And think about it, I mean, you guys remember the video. I had posted the video. Do you guys remember the detective? They were standing there looking on Savanah's side and he was making a hunched down position like she was slouched down. I want you guys to think about what that can mean. If she's intentionally slouching down in the seat, it's very possible that with this occurring on the outside, right next to the passenger side, that she slouched down to get out of the path of this guy doing something. Slouched down to get out of the path of Bullet, and then, of course, once Matthew's done, opening the door and taking care of her. Again, all the evidence and based on what the police are saying, there's no evidence that her life was ended outside of that vehicle. And I did post a video. If you guys go back, I posted a vehicle showing them making the movements where they were looking around the vehicle, looking for markings, looking for different things, and then one of the detectives making the motion of how she was slouched all the way down in the seat. So, almighty air conditioning and heating. Okay. Again, and the reason I want that information is for a couple of things, guys. The last thing we want is to link the names to a different Ramon and then possibly hinder somebody's business. That's the last thing that we want to do. So we always want to make sure that we have facts. We've seen too many people's lives get ruined by all of these accusations. I just lost that. I just lost my comment right as I was typing, guys. Put the name of that again. Can you put the name of that heating and cooling again so I can look it up? Okay. Thank you. Heating and cooling. Okay, let's pull this up. Piping and plumbing. Bet you they're on Facebook. Seems that everybody's on Facebook. Especially businesses. When I look it up, it's coming up piping and plumbing, so I know that the two do sometimes go together, so. I did find it. I found one. It shows that they were featured in a magazine. I mean, listen, if he's got this type of business, then he definitely can afford to get out. And no. Oh, wait a minute, guys. Hold up. So, I got a picture of the owner here. Says Ramon. You know what? His name is Ramon. Yes, the heating and cooling is owned by a guy named Ramon. The only other thing I can do now is compare his mugshot, which is in my phone, to that picture. Doop, 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 doop. Well, guys, I think we have a match. Okay. I'm going to put this up here. Let me pull up his picture real quick. I don't want to pull up his address, even though everybody knows it. Images. What are you doing, little bit? Hold on, honey. Okay. Hold on, guys, it's loading. Just wait. All right, here you guys go. This is the mugshot. You guys can see that? We'll take it. The pictures of Ramon when he started his business is really young. Yes, I could see that too. It does look like it's a really young version of him. It looks like him, so. Let's go ahead and make this bigger so you guys can see. There we go. This is Ramon. This is his mugshot. This is let me go in. Find the business. There it is. This is him on the website. Definitely him. Twins. No excuses. What do you mean not the same parking lot guy, though? What does that mean? Explain, please. Yeah, it'll be a long time before they go to court unless they take a deal. Or at least the son, unless the son takes a deal. Yep, they did. Messed up his lives completely instead of just turning his son in. He was not the one in the lot at the scene. You guys, whoops, wrong button. A man watching them the day they found them in the car. They vandalized their car. Head on a... Okay, guys, we can't do the rumors. That's what we're supposed to be doing, is getting rid of the rumors. I don't understand. Somebody's saying that in the comments that somebody vandalized the vehicle. What is it? You're talking about Matthew and Savanah's vehicle that was there? Because remember, there's footage. The police have footage, and there's no evidence that that vehicle was vandalized. They literally have footage of where the car, there's a camera there. Somebody posted, investigator went and took pictures. There is a camera overlooking where they left the vehicle. The truck followed the vehicle, and then Chris got into the truck with his dad, and they left. Oh, sorry. We need to only go on, right? The police said there is. Yeah, like they said, guys, I've been trying to dispel these rumors from day one, which is why I was trying to get the focus, not really the focus, the focus off of Annalisa and her boyfriend, not the whole focus. Listen, the internet wants to go at them for what they said. Have at it. You know what? They can deal with their family. They can deal with all of that. Anything happens to them because of those videos, that falls on Mona. It don't fall on nobody else but that crazy woman. Okay? But trying to get the focus of this investigation off of them. Because, again, people were so focused on them, and I had already been told that they had nothing to do with it. The police did now finally confirm that they had nothing to do with it. Then you guys, the internet, not you guys, but the internet attacked Big Mac Garcia. I was able to disprove instantly it wasn't him because it wasn't even his truck, and he was in jail. But again, I guess I was a liar there too. And then you guys went after Julian's family, and immediately I came out to tell you guys that was not his truck. And he's this family man dealing with a special needs child, and still the internet went after him. Come on, guys. We're ruining people's lives. And meanwhile, these guys were still sitting there. Truck was still sitting in front of his house in plain view. Just sitting there. No care in the world. Sometimes I wonder if he wanted his son to get caught, but... Poor Julian. Oh my gosh, his poor son. Now, listen. I know people are going to be like, oh, don't defend them. They all have pasts. We all have pasts. A lot of people, most of the people on here have pasts. But at the end of the day, he was taking care of his son and was struggling. The community had, right before Christmas, had done like a donation thing for him and his family for the holidays. Again, his son has been in the hospital. Nothing. He had nothing to do with it. And it was obvious from the second. If people would just do a little more research, like when they did the video of Big Mac Garcia, if they would have watched for like 15 more, 30 more seconds, they would have heard him talk about whose truck that was. It was his boy's Nick truck, and he had some other stuff in the back seat. That would have squashed that right there. If they would have actually read the comments from 2 weeks ago on Julian's page, they would have seen Monica say, oh, that's my truck. So, at the end of the day, yeah. Thank you. You can't, for the chapter of life that, you know, a lot of people have a lot of crap that they've done in their past. So that doesn't mean we get to target them and make them suspects in something like this and destroy their lives. I'm pretty sure they've already paid for the crap they've done in their life. And now it's coming back again. And that's not cool. That was sad. Was the house close to the apartments? A few blocks. It was a few blocks. According to the police, it was a couple of minutes away. Yeah. It was like right there. Yes, the car sat there for 5 days. 5 days. Nobody knew what they were looking for. And I truly believe had the right tag information been put out there, it would have been found sooner. But passing it and seeing the wrong tag, that was a huge thing. Remember that clear alert? Clear alerts go out on billboards and everywhere. Those little electronic signs on the highways. They had the wrong tag number. Not for nothing, that falls on SAPD. Regardless of what the family says, they have access to have looked up the owner information and found the correct tag. It would have taken them 2 seconds. So the fact that those bodies sat there for so long, I think had everything to do with the fact that it was the wrong tag number. Because as soon as they adjusted that, as soon as they put the right tag number, it was hours later that vehicle was found. Hours. It wasn't the next day. It wasn't from morning till night. It was within a few hours. Yes, they did find Savannah's phone. Savannah's phone was in the vehicle. Matthew's was not, but Savannah's was. Can I post what part? Of the affidavit? Yeah, hold on a second. If that's what you're asking me. Where's that affidavit at? How did I just do it, guys? Give me a second, guys. I'm trying to pull back up that. Well, let me go to the person that sent it to me real quick. Hold on, guys. Let me pull back up the affidavit. How did I just do that? Hold on, baby. No. No, ma'am. All right, there we go. I know you guys are just watching me do a search, but just give me a second. Somebody's asking me to repost the part on the affidavit, so that's what I'm doing. There it is. Okay. And let's make it bigger. Okay. Now let me bring you guys on so you guys can see it. I kind of like this ability, just so you guys know. I mean, I like this ability to do everything like this. Unfortunately, in order to do this and keep doing this, I have to come to a separate location because living in the middle of nowhere in the country, I don't have the internet capabilities to do all this. Hopefully by the end of the month or next month, I will. Okay, can you guys see that now? Where he got to, oh, that part, I'm sorry. The part where he got into the truck with his dad. We don't have the footage of that. We only know from what it says in the affidavit was that the truck followed him to drop off the vehicle. There's no footage of that. Now we do know there's a camera there. And let's go back in here because this report does talk about there's camera footage that sees them. Let's see. Altogether, they were there 3 minutes. Let's see. Matthew's vehicle parked next to Ramon's car. The heavyset male gets out. Silverado then follows it to where the victim's vehicle was on. Let's see. 3 minutes later, Silverado was observed leaving from behind the building where the vehicle's victim was found, and the victim's vehicle did not leave the location. So as you could, so he followed. Can you guys see that? He followed the Kia. We don't even have the footage, and I did bring this up before. We don't have the footage where that Silverado turned around or came back in or whatever. It says that the Kia left. They were like this, and then the truck followed that Kia, and then the Silverado is seen leaving that location. So we don't see that. They only gave us a small amount of camera footage. Hopefully they'll release some more, but I mean, there is no guarantee that they are going to release a lot more stuff. A lot of this is going to be stuff that's going to be for trial. Yeah, I'm glad she had her phone too. I will. I'm actually going to go ahead and post the affidavit. I'll make a video and I'll upload it. Yeah, there could be. All right, guys. So you guys have any more questions before I get out of here? Again, I am going to put it up there. You guys will have access to it. And what I'll do is after I get off of here, I'll make a quick video reading the affidavit and upload that separately, so at least we have the affidavit. When do I think the trial is going to be? Honestly, it's a capital case. I mean, if he doesn't have a good lawyer, which I would think is dad owning this business, they would have good lawyers. This could drag on for over a year, 2 years. If they take a plea, if the son takes a plea, either way, we probably won't see that for a year. So, yes, there is a lot of confusion here, guys, on the dates. The family said, and they came out publicly and said that their last contact with them was on Friday. And I don't know if did somebody misspeak and say they tried contacting them and couldn't contact them on Friday is what they meant to say. But everything was leading that the last contact with them was on Friday. I brought this up the other day that the dad had mentioned that by 2 p.m. or something, I believe it was on Saturday, he had been concerned. So maybe he was concerned because he hadn't heard from him on Friday. Am I coming to New Mexico for the Treviso trial? I am not sure. Unfortunately, that trial starts literally the same week that my kiddos go back to school. So pulling my 6-year-old out of school to attend that might be a problem. It just depends, guys. So if the Treviso case does go, if they're going to stream it, then what's the point of going there? Because we're all going to see the exact same thing. If they're not going to stream it, then I'm probably going to do what I can to go ahead and go there. I mean, if it's not streamed on Court TV, if it's press only or something like that, I'll do what I can to go there and see what we can do there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to stream it. Oh, guys, I don't know if anybody here is following the Alexis Avila case. Just want to give you guys a quick update on that. Anybody here following the Alexis Avila case? Let me show you guys something here if you guys want to. Okay, so as you guys know, they let her out on bond. Then the state took it to the appeals, the appeals court let her out on bond, saying that there's like a bunch of different reasons why they believe that she could win this case on appeal. Now, the state, the prosecutors, took the appeals court to court in the Supreme Court. Does that make sense? Are you guys following me here? Because it gets really confusing. So, okay, the prosecutors are fighting with the appeals court, New Mexico appeals court, and they both ended up in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court put an order in demanding that the lower courts, the appeals court, respond to this this motion that they've put in there. And the other day, the Court of Appeals for New Mexico responded. And she's like, my phone's going to wait. I'm going to go ahead and pull you guys up that response because I downloaded it and I will upload it as well. Let's see, Avila case. All right, let me see if it will let me share this screen with you guys. Let's add a source. Window capture. There it is. Yes. All right, there we go. You guys can see that? Can you guys see this? Okay. All right. Let me go over so I can read this to you guys. All right, so here we go. Okay, so the state seeks review of the Court of Appeals order that grants motion for release pending appeal. And I'm not going to read, it's a lot of pages, so I'm going to give you guys basically the rundown. What they're saying is that the only issue raised is whether Ms. Avila's appeal raises a substantial question of law or a fact that's likely to result in it being reversed. This court should deny. So they're asking, this is for the Supreme Court. So the state is asking the Supreme Court to deny, back it up. This is the appeals court response. The appeals court is asking the Supreme Court, it gets confusing, guys, to deny the state's request for 3 reasons. First, there are many issues in the statement that could result in a whole new trial. Each of the issues alone, they're saying could cause things. So the issues, the evidentiary issues, the great bodily harm issue is a huge one. So let's go down. The Court of Appeals exercised its judgment under some precedent in order to make their decision. So these are kind of our facts. It shocks me that some people in the USA do. Okay, so Ms. Avila was arrested for attempted first degree or alternatively child abuse. Surveillance footage was leaked to social media, resulting in nationwide news coverage and widespread coverage in Hobbs. The video showed Ms. Avila tossing a bag that contained a newborn baby into the dumpster and driving away. The baby was later found alive and was hypothermic with a low temperature. The baby was treated at the hospital, later received a transfusion in Lubbock, Texas. After a jury trial, Ms. Avila was convicted of abuse resulting in great bodily harm, which carries an 18-year sentence. They also found that it was a serious violent offense. She appealed, days later filed for motion release. The district court denied it. Basically, she went to the Court of Appeals and they approved it. These are the challenges. Abuse of discretion for denying the change of venue, that's one. Reversible error for allowing a handful of non-designated expert witnesses to testify. So what they're saying is that there were a bunch of so-called experts that testified and they were not really designated expert witnesses. And that's going to be an issue. Sufficiency of the evidence. So they now have to determine, is hypothermia in and of itself considered great bodily harm? And then they need sufficient evidence to prove that, abuse of discretion for designating the conviction as a serious violent offense. Yes. So because there was no great bodily harm to the baby, how can that be a serious violent offense is what they're arguing. And then there's apparently some jury instructions that were denied. And for those of you who don't know, for those of you guys who do not know this, when it comes to jury instructions, they have to be really, really specific. So, for example, she can not walk completely free, but if they end up having to dismiss the great bodily harm and everything, then she very well could be at the point where she's already served her time at time served, because I think it only carries a couple of years. But when you're giving jury instructions, you have to be really specific. So what they have to turn around and say is, if you're going to say this person's being charged with burglary of a dwelling. You have to be able to prove a lot of concepts. So you're going to give the jury instructions that says you have to determine, first of all, if this was a dwelling, a household, place where people resided, and then determine, once you get past that point, now you can go to step 2. So there's a series of steps that you have to tell the jury. So if there are some jury instructions that they felt were important and they were denied to give to the jury, that in and of itself can overturn the entire conviction. So let's see. So the state is saying she didn't raise a substantial question. The Court of Appeals is saying that she did. And like I said, there's a lot here. All of this has been done on a previous, but this is just going to be the rundown of everything else that they're saying. If release is denied and there are findings of facts that ensure the defendant did not legally qualify for release, you know what? I would have to read this from the beginning. Ultimately, I'm going to give you guys a rundown, and I think this is dangerous. You have the state, the prosecutors, now fighting the Court of Appeals, forcing the Court of Appeals to have to defend their right to let her out and say that she could possibly have everything overturned. And I'll tell you why that's dangerous, because later on, if this goes in her, this case is sitting in the Court of Appeals. So now if this ends up going and they grant her a new trial, now what you have is you're going to have to take it up to the Supreme Court again. We're going to have constant cases in the Supreme Court. You're forcing the Court of Appeals, who is making this decision on whether or not to even overturn all of this, you're forcing them to have to defend this right and in essence defend her. So the prosecution is fighting the exact courts who are supposed to be making the decision on whether or not to leave her in or take her out, and forcing them to come up with reasons to defend her and defend their actions. That is dangerous, personally. Avila's, yes, I can show her photo. Let me close this real quick, and I will get that for you guys. Doop. Now, this is not the Treviso case. You guys remember we have, both of them were in New Mexico. Hold up. There we go. Come on. I hate spam pop-ups. No, I don't have a pop-up blocker. Here we go. All right, let me give this to you guys. There we go. That is Alexis Avila. Can you guys see her? She is the one we were talking about. She was released on bond. Now, mind you, they did, baby daddy did get an order of protection. So he got a restraining order against her, and she's on house arrest. So they're basically saying she's not a danger to anybody. The only person she's a danger to would be any children she gave birth to, and that's obviously not happening. All right, let's go back, guys. Hold up. There was a Vine update at 1:17. Central, I'm guessing that's Texas time. I'm Central time as well. So that would have been 10 minutes ago. Does Francisco still have custody of baby A? So about that, they have not went to court yet. They go to court on January 9th. I have not been able to reach him. Neither has the investigator. However, we have information from somebody involved that something happened, he acted some sort of way, and long story short, he ended up giving the baby back to Alexandra. That is what I'm told. I am told that she has the baby with her. He gave the baby back, and that's where we're at. So, yeah. Will you check Vine? Yes, guys, let's go to... I'm going to go ahead and check this for you guys on the Ramon thing. Fine. Okay. You guys know more about Texas than I do. The only thing it's giving me is to call. You have to call the 800 number. And I'm guessing put in the Vine information. So let me see. So let's pull back up that Vine number. We have to go back to the court records. Sorry guys, I have my little one's home sick. She's with me here running around, but just making sure she ain't getting into things she's not supposed to. All right, Ramon. Our court system here is a joke. I'm trying to pull it up too, but having trouble. Okay. We're going to do this together. Let's do it together, guys. Their website is suddenly really slow, which we all know what that means. Everybody and their mother is looking stuff up. So pre-hearing, bond, booked, fine number. Oh, that's a phone number, right? That looks like a phone number, guys. Hold up. I know nothing. I mean, in Florida, the Vine number works completely different. So I don't know. Okay. Is that a phone number? Because that's coming up Pennsylvania. Thanks. Yeah, I'm not, no matter how crappy a person may be, I'm not up for blaming people who I don't believe are guilty. So, all right. A lot of times, I take on a case and start to work a certain angle, a lot of times based on my gut, which thankfully hasn't failed me so far. But I take that gut instinct and then, try to go down and get anything that supports it. And if it doesn't and it shows the other way, then that's the way I'll go. But in this case, it was just so obvious that these kids had nothing to do with it. Let's see. Does anybody know how to work this Vine thing? I don't know about, let's try it again, Texas Vine. Information. Victim, okay, here we go. Victim notification for crime victims. Contact, visit the Vine website. There's a website. All right. Texas. Let's see what we got here, guys. And if there's a different way to go, by all means, somebody, really? I think we gotta search for someone. Here we go. Texas ID number. What is their ID number? We have a couple. We have a SID number. Let's try that one. Then we're gonna try that Vine number thing. I wonder if that's it. Montgomery County. It's not this guy. That number did pull up somebody, but not the right guy. Let's try that number. Nope. They did do this. They were. I see you guys. I just looked it up. He's in Bexar County Jail. That's what I'm showing. Bexar County Jail still, guys. You guys chit chat for a minute. Seriously, I'm gonna try to see if I could find anything that is gonna give me. I'm on the victim information website. We're on Vine. Oh, let's try this number. Oh, come on, dude. All right, 226-3046. Nope, 3046. Screwed that up. 226-3046, just to confirm. And let's see what we got.
Mommy, where are we leaving?
When I'm done. Still nothing coming up. So if you guys have a number to search, nothing here is coming up. I will try the case number, but sometimes the way they write their case numbers is not the same. You know what? Wait a minute. Wait. Ramon. Sorry. I completely skipped over the name. All right. Let's see. See if there's a picture and search. Here we go. All right, guys. As according to Vine, he is still in custody. I will show you guys so that way you guys can see it for yourself. You know, gotta show the receipts. Where's my Chrome? There you go. Can everybody see that? Can everybody see that? According to Vine, he is still in custody. They have not been released. So I know a lot of people are saying that they've been released. According to Vine, they are still in jail. In custody, Bexar County. Matter of fact, why don't we do this? Why don't we get notified? I'm going to have to put some personal information here, so we are going to not make that public. I will be notified via text message. Let's pop in my phone number. Create my PIN number. We're done. Okay. You signed up. Okay, so we all did. Yeah, I will wait for got my text message. This confirms my registration for Ramon Preciado. So, let's see. You guys see that? We are. I know it's a little blurry, but we're registered. So as soon as I hear something, I will let you guys know. Do I know if the Alexis Avila case is going to trial? I believe the Alexis Avila case is going to go for a retrial. I believe she's going to win the appeal. Everything on here shows she's going to win the appeal. Even the appeals court says that just one of the 5 things that are sitting in there to be argued is enough for her to win. Just one. That she can win on any one of them. So yes, I do believe there's going to be a retrial.
Pretend I'm typing.
No, don't play with anything, baby.
I'm just kidding. Pretend I'm typing on paper. Oh.
Do you know if the... okay, so let me go back down here. Okay. No, Avila does not have the baby. The baby is with the baby's father, and he has a restraining order. Again, in my profile, my TikTok profile, that link, that's my drive. And in there, it actually has the copy of the domestic violence order and the restraining order. So you guys can see that. And as for the other case, I'll go ahead and upload the affidavit for that order of protection in the drive as well. That's for the Ariana case. So you guys can see what she put in the order of protection that she's trying to get protection from. It has nothing to do with anything recent. She's talking about things that happened over a year ago. Ariana, that from my understanding, Ariana is back with Alexandra. That dad gave her back to the mom. A lot of people in that circle are not happy about it, but the Alexi case is going to trial in August, and absolutely that case is going to trial. I do not see any plea deal being worked out in that case at all. And Gary Mitchell seems extremely confident. He is he's not going to let anything, he's not going to let that not go to trial. Let's just say that. Go to trial. So, child, please stop running. All right, guys, so I am going to get off of here. We've been on here for 2 hours. 2 hours. That way I can go ahead and make this video with the affidavit and get that uploaded before I don't have service again. But thanks, guys. Again, we'll try to do another one, make videos. I make videos, but in my house, it takes about an hour to an hour and a half for a 5 to 10 minute video to upload. It's horrible. I don't know what is up with that internet. All of a sudden, it's dropping even slower. So I got to get Starlink, $600 for the box. That is what I am waiting to get. And then I will be able to do this a lot more often without having to drive all the way over here, which is about 15 to 20 minutes from my house, just to be able to use the internet in this current location. So I will see you guys. Let me turn this off. I might leave the chat on for a few minutes so you guys can chit chat.